GhostRed CTF was a capture the flag competition for security and such for computer science, located at Clemson University. That was hosted by GE, General Electric, and I got into it through Nate and whatnot, people, friends and stuff, for security. No prior experience, first time doing it and such, and it was an interesting experience, honestly.
I got into it. Dr. Picare, who heads a lot of the security stuff, contacted me and a few others to see if we'd be interested, and we, at that point, kind of made a team. The Capture the Flag competition is a style of security.
It's multiple questions and challenges, specifically towards cybersecurity and such. You have easy, medium, and expert questions. So for instance, an easy question, just write a simple Java or a Python statement. Medium questions include, can you crack this WPA encryption key? And then expert was one such as log into this website, hack into this website, finding the login and password. Once in, can you find a way to override this program that is a dam that controls the input and output of the water to make it overflow? My team is basically a bunch of people who never did a CTF before, except one of them.
Really, we were kind of the handful of people that have tried to stay into things like this over the course of the semester. We usually try to compete in anything that we can, be it an online competition or usually the on-site things are more rare, but throughout the year we would compete in online capture the flags that are hosted remotely. And that's, we kind of already had a team at that point. It was, there were 4 of us that did it, and coincidentally it was a 4-person team, so it worked out pretty well.
One person had prior experience. The rest of us were like, we have no idea what we're doing. But the other teams just knew so much, because you could clearly tell like the other teams had prior experience, especially like their team too. You just, bam, hammering answers and answers. I'm just like, how'd you do that? I have no idea how. And so it's like you have to go and research it yourself and stuff.
As cliche as it sounds, team, way more important than any, I mean, technical ability is super important, but like team, I guess, synergy it'll work.
I didn't know this as well, but apparently in the hacking world, lockpicking is really, really big. The security meeting before the CTF, Chris was like, all right, I'm gonna teach you guys how to lockpick. And he pulled out his lockpicking kit. He was like, oh man, I don't have any locks, darn. Guy in random front row, literally just like, I know him personally, Lauren, but randomly just like, I got locks. He pulled out like 6 locks from his pockets. At the club meeting, we're literally sitting there learning how to pick locks. Turned out the CTF competition, 2 of the questions were like, can you pick these locks up at the front?
Yeah, that was like a challenge. You would go up there, you would try to pick the lock. If you got it, you got points. And it was something we should have put together, that physical security is a part of computer security.
Really what happened was, they were about 7th place with about 20 minutes left. There were still some really hard questions, and 4 per team, so 2 of his teammates went up front to do this stuff, which is a hard challenge. It's microcode that you actually have to get on a computer terminal up at the front desk, and you have time, and if you sound off an alarm, like you do something wrong, you're done. So people were scared to do it, and so they go up, they're like, all right, we gotta try this. They ended up getting every single flag, and these are like big flags, like well worth a good amount of points. And they're just hitting them left and right. They're like, I don't know how we're doing this. And then they come back, and Nate and his other partner had also gotten like 3 more flags worth a lot of points. So they went from like 6th or 7th to 3rd in like less than 20 minutes. And so with a minute left, they jumped all the way to 3rd place. They're like, oh my God.
We were all able to work on something different, all able to actually complete something, you know, by ourselves and contribute like simultaneously, instead of everybody sitting around saying, okay, well, you know, how we do working on one problem, we were able to, you know, I guess work concurrently, and that was the big thing as far as getting points quickly.
And my team, we didn't get necessarily high. I was honestly expecting to get last, as much knowledge as we knew, but we got 12th. But it was really funny in a sense that I could have gotten first, you know, the answers, whatever. I got them, and I didn't believe it. I remember looking at it, and I could see 600-point answers, 500-point answers. I didn't know they were the answers, though. I thought this was some kind of joke. It was like a prototype kind of server-based system. So since it was a prototype, there were bugs, and they knew there were bugs.
They were pretty open, like at the beginning. They were like, hey, look, more than likely, if you poke around, you're gonna find something weird. And that's like they had built into the framework, like points for, like if you find something weird, let us know, we'll hook you up, kind of thing. By design, for whatever reason, a user that they had, like you would remotely log in as, had like way more authority than it should have. So like there are flags that you're looking for on the system. So in theory, like if you found it, you could have just removed it. No one else could get it. I don't know if that was like by design. Like
it's similar to having same remote. It's like walking to the CCT and you're looking for a flag and you have student privileges, so you can walk into certain places, right? However, Nate got access and he was like the dean of the CCT walking in, and he could do whatever he wanted.
They were oddly nonchalant about it. I was like, hey, I think this is buggy, and they're like, oh yeah, we need to lock down user accounts. I was like, there's some implications of this that like I don't know if you fully realize.
The database system would send back an acknowledgement packet displaying everything. Every point that every team had, every answer that every team had, and like just every answer with every point.
It was like textbook irony. Like you're in a security competition,
and this is like
they do something goofy like that. Like everything's going over in clear text, which is like a big no-no in security. Like
so, the competition went from 9 to 12. You got a lunch from 12 to 1, and then 1 to 4. So it's a 6-hour competition with an hour lunch break. So 7 hours total. So, well, I was sniffing around on your network because that's one of the challenges. He goes, oh yeah, standard HTTP protocol. I was like, yeah, but this is what I found. And he's like, oh, well, oh yeah, it's just a simple TCP packet, yada yada. And he's like, oh, wow. And it turned to the guy, so like it was a team, there were different team members, and the guy in charge of the database was on his Mac sitting next to him. He looked at him, he goes, Jared, you messed up, man.
As far as what I think the competition says about the TSYS School of Computer Science, I think that it's really kind of a testament to our first real venture into competitive security competitions.
I also feel like this is a great starting point for us with the introduction of the cybersecurity track in fall 2016, laying out this foundation before it even launches. I think it's going to be great for the advancement and like further continuing of the program as such in the TSYS School of Computer Science.
Oh, I'm proud because it really came together as a team. It worked really well. It was the first time I'd actually been in a competition where I had that sort of flow.
A dream job would just be something architectural wise, like circuits, microcode, like Intel processors, working on like small hardware sort of stuff, advancing, the future.
I'm more interested in a security related job, and I'm not really super picky. If I could have a job working in security, that would really be, I'd be happy. My name is Nathan Gibson. I'm a senior in computer science systems software track.
And I'm Jacob Mobbs. I too am a senior in the computer science software systems track.